And we are live. Why is this picture so small? Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. Okay, welcome. And welcome to the new year, 2026. Hope everybody had a good holiday break, if you had a break. And Christmas, and New Year's Eve, and Kwanzaa, and whatever. And I guess Hanukkah was before Christmas, so but I think was that between I guess it wasn't on much in December. So yeah. Anyway, hope everybody had a great time. I do know. See, today's the 7th. I know that 6th yesterday was Greek Orthodox Christmas. I know that from one of my former coworkers. So I hope they had a Merry Christmas yesterday. Let me see. And there may be some other besides the Greek Orthodox. I'm not sure about Russian Orthodox, but I do know that for sure. Anyway, so that was a bit of trivia for you, for those that may not know. We did okay. We've had a lot of weird weather, hot, cold, minus, I think got as cold as -9 one morning. And then we've had it, now it's back up in the 30, I think, is it 35 today? Something like that. So weird weather. And it's going to be hitting maybe 40 by Friday and rain. We just had another small snowstorm that came through, just a couple inches, nothing serious, for us anyway. And there's not much snow on the ground right now here at our place. We're at about 900-foot elevation, so we tend to get a little bit more snow here than the valley. I think because of the warm weather, it compacted quite a bit today, so probably in the range of 4 to 6 inches of snow out there on the lawn. So not bad. Not bad. The dogs love it. So they love running out in it. So especially when it's soft like that. When it freezes over, that's when they don't like it, because then it gets crunchy and your feet poke through and all kind of stuff. But we've had some of that where it got warm and cold. And right now we're looking at a warm spell starting, like I said, this Friday, well into next week, I guess. Although there's some chance of snow or rain tomorrow and rain on Friday. So I don't really appreciate the rain this time of year. It just makes things so sloppy and messy. And then it freezes, and my driveway right now has got ice underneath the snow. So you gotta be careful. I had to sand it down quite a bit. But that's where it goes. We've had years like that before, and we'll have years like that again, I'm sure. So I'm not sure. I hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Like I said, this newer setup, and it's a little different. And I've got an extra monitor screen now, which makes it easier for me to keep track of things, sort of. And so we're going with that. And like I said in the comments, we have jewelry as usual, of course, and I have an interesting mix of some fossils and some trinket boxes and some various collectibles. What else I think? Only one minor item of clothing tonight, so the rest is, and I'll have some Christmas, a few leftover, well, leftover in a sense they're leftovers. They're this year's Hallmark ornaments, but they were leftover, um, distorted, ran out of basically that they may be I'm not sure if they're the issues with a 1 year issue type of ornament or not. Those that are out there who own the Hallmark would know. But anyway, we'll give you a good deal on some Hallmark stuff if you were looking for that. And let me see what else. I know there's something I'm forgetting. Yeah, let's see. I said that. Have I said that, and that? Some just to say really oddball pieces of things. Some of this came from an estate sale a while back, actually, back in the summer, and I'd forgotten all about it. I come across the box and I said, "Oh shoot, I would put this stuff out here." So something you guys might be interested in. And I got a couple of other items I'm not even sure what they're worth, so let me throw them out there and see if anybody has any interest. We'll go from there. Okay. And I'm back on my Wednesday for this week. I was going to do something Sunday, and it just wasn't working out. You think when you're retired, you think you'd have more time to do this kind of stuff. And it doesn't quite work out that way. Well, it's between making sure we have enough firewood in the house and the new dog, still working with training her. And that's coming well, by the way. I did find out because she's a Jack Russell Terrier Texas Cattle Dog mix that the name for them is what did you say? Cat Jack. I guess they combine the names. So anyway, that's what she is. And now I'll be posting some videos, I hope, of them playing out in the yard. I meant to do it with this new snow we had, but I'll get it. Will be more snow, and there'll be more chances to put videos out there. And we'll go from there. Let me see. I'm looking around here just to make sure I'm not forgetting something. Okay, well, let's go through the spiel. So if you're new here as a bidder and purchaser, you need to email me your real name if it's not your YouTube name or YouTube handle, I should say. Now it's only the handles that show up. As you can see, mine's at GGG1955, and it's been that way for years. And I should probably change it to something more descriptive, but I just didn't bother to change it because they were using the channel names, which was Vintage Dust. And oh well, and I do tie that name in with my eBay page as well. So my eBay page is Vintage Dust Emporium. So separated from the auctions, okay, so be sure you give me that YouTube handle with your real name, your PayPal information, your shipping information. I invoice through PayPal, and I use a pirate chip to calculate the shipping. They generally give me a pretty good deal, and now that the holidays are gone by, I think they've dropped all the surcharges, so that makes it a little cheaper. I can use things other than PayPal, but you need. I do have a Venmo account. I have Cash App. I have Zelle. I'm sure I'm forgetting one, but anyway, so there's those options, but the preference is PayPal, and that's because I can write invoices in PayPal. It's just easier, and it's very quick. And yeah, they charge a little bit, but it's nothing bad. Okay, we do bidding in dollar increments up to $10. Happy New Year, Marlene. I just saw that. Thank you, and Happy New Year as well to everybody out there. Okay, so biddings in dollar increments up to $10. After $10, it's going to be $2 increments, and I don't go beyond that for the most part. So we don't get into the $100 range kind of stuff generally. At least we won't be tonight, I don't think. This is something here that I'm missing that people are saying, hey, this is worth a lot more than you think it is. I do have some silver tonight. I think I've got one gold-plated item. I didn't get a chance to test them, but I will talk about that when we get there. So let's see. And I have, like I said, a mix of stuff tonight. I have a lot more than what I usually show here. Like I said, I've been teasing it. Maybe one of these days, if I could straighten up my mess in here in this room, and you can see the mess behind me, the comic books and the vinyl albums and the toys and the videos and collectibles and oh goodness, and I have a lot of clothing actually that I just haven't bothered to post on anywhere, and I just sitting in storage. I have some really interesting pieces I'll hopefully get out on Etsy and eBay very soon. I'm getting into that more heavily now. I think that's about it. I don't want to chat too much. It can take up too much time here doing this, but I wanted to make sure I covered all those items. And like I say, I'm looking at this. Oh yeah, so we're going to switch cameras, of course. I always show my talk up front here, and then we'll switch over to my little table that's next to me here, and we'll start showing you some stuff. Okay, and let's see, go to settings here. Camera. And let's go to that camera, and hopefully that's working. Oh, yeah. Okay, that looks okay, sort of. I'll have to make some adjustments here, but let's bring it up. So, the first item we have is a pair of candles, brand new from Glade. It's called First Frost, Notes of Frosted Woods and Eucalyptus. So I'm just going to say pair of Glade. Type in the right place here. Pair of Glade candles. They're new, of course. We'll start them at $5. How does that sound? I think they're from 2023. EST Johnson. And as you can see, the color, it's kind of a pale blue. It is glass. And there's the usual warning and things. Let me get that focused back and put that up on the screen so you can see it. And I'm just gonna, usually I pre-write my list of what I'm going to show tonight. I didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm just going to write on my board what I have up here and what I'm asking in case somebody emails me. And this does happen. People do email me saying, hey, I'm interested in such and such an item that may have not sold. And I'm more than happy to sell it to you. So if that's the case, go right ahead. Email is in the chat on the very top. First, I think it's the first comment and second comment in there. I can run it across the screen too if that helps. There it is. So if you need my email and you don't have it, just let me know and I'll repost it. Okay. I see this is sort of a wintry thing, I guess, called first frost, but are they sealed? No, they're not. I can smell that. Actually smells pretty good. I'm not big on candles, but you can see they are brand new. You see the wick in there. Okay, we'll pass on that. I got to figure out when I'm going to put this stuff out of the way. I didn't plan for that. Okay. And let's get that off the screen. Let's start with a simple pair of earrings. Just have a little display here somewhere. There it is. These are shepherd hook style earrings. I'm just trying to get it to display properly here, but it's not cooperating. Well, I'll just put it down and then bring the camera over and bring it down. Okay. So these are silver tone with a little clearish kind of piece on the square piece, and I'm going to take it off the card here so you can see it better. Obviously, they're a matching pair. Although I do know that some people don't wear matching earrings. They wear mismatch on purpose. But you can see that's what it looks like. A very simple little earring. Actually, I have my display. What did I just do with it? I gotta put that on. So you get a better look at how it hangs. Oops. When it's on the ear, like that. So I'm going to call these square silver tone earrings. I'm going to start these at $4. And they do have the little rubber backing things that come with them to keep it from sliding out of your ear or off the card in this case. So, there. So just a pretty easy looking pair of earrings. And let me write that down. Okay. Let's see. We'll start with see. That was the second item. I'm not really sure when to start showing some of these really unusual pieces I've got. I think I may hold off on that for a bit and see if anybody's interested in some of the usual jewelry stuff. But I do have some very good collectibles tonight, and I know at least one of those I have seen people being interested in. Oh no, a couple of those I've seen people have interest in the last several auctions. So, okay, next item I think I'm going to show is this guy here. Okay. Oh, that's not it. Huh. Well, certainly looks like it, but it's not it. Okay. No interest in the earrings. Oops. Almost did it to myself again here. We'll pass on those. Pick up the ear backings. I know there's a better name for them than that. Okay. I get this cute little kangaroo. From what I read, these are Morton Art pottery. This is a pink kangaroo. And I have no idea what to get for these things. So let me see. We'll just call it the pink kangaroo. We'll start this at, oh gosh, I don't know, $5. Oops, I'm still in type 5. But, yeah, there's no markings on it that I could find. It may have been part of another piece, maybe another. Because I'm saying it looks like there's some residual, something on the bottom, but maybe somebody glued it to something and then took it off. I don't know, but it is pink. It's kind of a palish pink, as you can. The color is actually not too bad on the screen there. Yeah, if the focus would come back. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so I got all kinds of really unusual things tonight. That's kind of a sample. Some of the things you may see. Okay, no interest in pink kangaroos. Okay, let's see. Oh, it looks like we got some people joining us. I hope. Don't be afraid to talk in the chat. Let me know you're there, or you can just lurk. That's okay too. Okay, well, we'll put the pink kangaroo aside, and we'll try another piece of jewelry. This one, I think, has a name on it. So, yeah. I think this is a brand name, but I can't recall. Yeah, this is a Monet piece. And I get an inventory tag on here that I'm trying. It's tangling up on me here, so give me a second. Let me get the tag off of there because it's very distracting. Got to cut the tag off because it's tangling up. Okay, this actually was from the state as well. It's a nice lucite. It's made out of lucite. And let me see if I have. Oh yeah, I just had it right next to me a second ago. Let me see if I get this display. It should work well on this board. Before I display it on the board here, just to show you, it's a hook and eye type of clasp in there. And I'm going to put it on display so you get a better look at how it looks. And we'll bring the camera up. There, you can see it's kind of these graduated pearls with the gold tone beads in between. It does have an extension chain on it, and the Monet tag is right there. Oops, that's not going to focus. I'll take it off there again and show it to you. But just to give you an idea, what am I looking for this guy here? Yeah, these go. I was really surprised what these go for, but I will start this. Let's see, Monet lucite necklace. We'll start this at $10. How's that sound? And it is, and I say it's got the gold in between. I'm going to take it off there and give you a better look. I just wanted you to see how. Oh, come on, focus. Man. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take it off the black because I know that can, lighting and everything can really throw things off a bit. So now I've got to set my board aside here. So again, let's see if we can get the Monet to show up on here. You see the extender on there, and there's the Monet tag. It's not going to focus for me, is it? Oh, there we go. And you can see the beads up closer and with the gold tone beads in between. That gets graduated down to the larger beads at the bottom. I think the overall length on that looks like about 18. So I did write it down. 28 inch. Oh, okay, 28. So it's wears quite low. I wish maybe if I dimmed it a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Take that light off of there, and that's not so intense. There it is. Really nice necklace. I think the beads are what they call lucite. At least from what I've been able to learn about it. I did find it out there in the real world. Okay, let's see here. What's going to be next? Let me just take care of one thing that's in front of me here. That's I need to get out of the way. And we got anybody out there that's interested in fossils. I've got fossils, for example, coming up too. And you write down what I showed you, the Monet. And it's asking for it. Okay. All right. And go to our next item. Oh, this is a good one. So I guess I mentioned in the beginning of the video, for those that weren't here, we've got some Hallmark stuff. Let's pass on this and like that. Okay. I have I don't think I showed this last auction, but maybe I did. I can't remember. Hallmark keepsake. It's called So Darn Cute. And let's see. I think we'll ask 15 for that. Whoops. Let's type it in the right place. Hallmark. Cute, I'm going to call it. Oops. I can spell Hallmark. New, it went for over $20. I think it was like 22. Yeah, $23 new. So there it is for 15. is any interest. Again, hope folks that are joining having had a good new start to their new year. And we've certainly been okay here as far as what we did for the holidays, and had family went over to families and had family over here, and a relatively quiet New Year's Eve. Like I said, I've got some estate stuff I'm going to be showing tonight. That came from, and this is not jewelry from the, well, that one piece, that one Monet you saw was an estate, came from one of the estates. I think I have maybe one other piece, I can't recall. I think I have one other piece that's also from an estate. But there's the hallmark. Oops, I didn't put that up on the screen. Let's do that and see if there's any interest in that. And then we're going to go with a collectible. We can. And we're having fun, right? Oh my, yes. Oh, my daughter's trying to call. I can't talk to her right now. Oh, she's calling the house phone. I'll mute for a second while my wife will pick that up. Just wait. Okay, my wife picked up the phone. It's my daughter calling. So, okay, fun, huh? Alrighty. Okay, no interest in the hallmarks. We will pass on that. Like I said, I've got more hallmark, but we'll worry about that later. How about a fossil? I have a couple of these, and I'm going to see if the lighting's going to work okay on these. Yes, these are fossils, fossilized clams. Look these up, but I have two, and when I did a little quick research on these, they said that they could be from 48 million years ago or more. So pretty cool. I'm going to start this at $9 each. So basically, people do start bidding. The high bidder gets to pick one or more. But that's where we're going to start at. I do have another fossil besides that one that's coming up later. But let me show you these up close. Pretty cool. Nobody's done anything to them. They've not been polished or anything like that. I know sometimes people take these fossils and polish them to make them look more interesting, but these are pretty raw, of course. Pretty cool, I think. Any interest in those? Yeah, pick something. How do I get to? I've got to change why it's showing that. Fix one thing on the layout. Oh, that's not it. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I was just trying to get rid of where it has my name up on the screen, but it doesn't. do that. Let me edit. Nope. Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Anyway, like I said, this is one of the two set. I have another set of fossils. Actually, I have some other fossils besides these, but these are the two. These are two of the three I brought tonight. Um, to see if there's any interest in them. If not, that we can see them. As you see, if anybody who collects fossils, you might find these interesting or not. That's what I'm asking. Okay. Let's see, trying to set up the show next here. We'll do some more jewelry, I guess. Let's go with. Let's see, we did necklaces, we did earrings. Go with earrings again, I guess. Just trying to fix the card here. Yeah. Okay. Well, I am doing obviously that. This is Wednesday, so I'm thinking of doing it. I'd like to do them twice a week. I'd like to do Wednesday and Sunday. We'll see. I'll see how I feel this weekend. But yeah, so I may try to do 2 auctions a week. I have and I may alter. That's like one of the auctions may not be hardly any jewelry and be a bunch of other items like who knows what. Anything from toys to vinyl albums, like comic books or collectibles, baseball cards. I don't know, something like that. I haven't really this. I'm still working it through in my brain. But we'll come up with something here. But no, I am going to continue to do at least 1 auction a week. But I'm likely to do 2, and if I can organize myself to get it there. And like I said, I got a ton of eBay stuff I got to get going. So yes, I do have toys. I do have some within reach, sorta tonight. I have. I'm looking right now. The box in front of me, it says stuffed bears. I have those. I also have a ton of Burger King and McDonald's original in the original package. Toys. I have what's in the bin behind me here? I know there's some other stuff like that. I've got like the 1/16 scale automobile things. Those like various cars. I have dolls. My wife actually in fact, I'll show you one that I have. I haven't come up with what a value for it is yet, but it's considered to be a Shirley Temple doll, I guess, as a child, obviously. I have a little bit of Barbie stuff, not a lot. I have like a Barbie stamper set. I have a Barbie bubblegum shop, and I have a couple of things like that. So yeah, I'd have toys. In fact, some of them was right within my reach. So if there's any interest, certainly of what I just spoke about, I can get most any of those that are in this room with me out in front of you. The other thing I have also is if anybody's into those little villages, the ceramic villages and stuff, like you can make a whole town out of these things. They're about, anywhere from 12 inches across to usually about 8 inches tall kind of thing. I got a bunch of those that are in storage right now. I'd have to bring them in. But stuff like that. I have, let me see what else. I have games too. I have some games and train stuff, HO and Lionel. I have, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of it all. So yeah, got a lot. So Vein 21, I see that was your question. So yeah, we do. Okay, well, let's enough chit chat about that. So let's pass on these. No interest in the fossils. That's okay. Like I said, there are people out there who loves the skeleton stuff, and I'll just put them out on eBay or something like that, or Etsy or whatever. Okay, earrings. Let's go with some earrings. This set of 3 earrings. I'm gonna put. Let's stay on there if I do that. No, I'm not. These are all post earrings, and they're just. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can put this like that. There we go. And we'll get rid of this on the screen. I'm afraid the color's not coming out really good. Let me see if that helps. Nope, that doesn't help. Okay. I'm going to just start these at $5. I'll bring them up close here with my hand and give you a better idea. See if we can get the color to come out a little better. So the one on the left, on your left, is kind of blue crystally. The one in the center is kind of a pale yellow, and the one on the right is kind of a pinkish. I know it doesn't show that way on the screen, and I apologize for that. But see, if I put too much light on it, it just washes it out. Sometimes if I get it at an angle, you can see the color a little better. But I see Marlene at 5. And there's the back right there. Oh, and I don't know if the card they're on, I think, is the original card. No. I think the words were brand new. Oh, come on, focus now. Wow. I gotta get a better camera. Okay. Oh, the color shows a little better there. Okay. We'll say going once. Going twice. Almost forgot to write something down. Yeah. Last call. For $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna put that up on screen in case somebody's watching later. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I agree. I've been toying with different backgrounds. I even have I had a light gray piece of material. It wasn't working out. I don't know why. I think it's more the camera than anything else. So let me just write this down before I forget. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Set that over here. Okay. Let's do this little piece. I'm pretty sure this is made from India. It's the cutest little trinket box. And it's a little darker shade than what you're seeing there. Let me see if the more light helps a little bit. Yeah, it does on this particular case. So it looks like it appears to be it's got a elephant in a gold tone top here, like a coin shape in the center. It looks to be hand carved. There are no markings on it. You'll see the hinge there. I honestly don't know what kind of wood it is, but here's the interior. So we'll leave it like that. And keyboard technique. Here we go. We'll start this at, oh boy, I don't think it was. I've seen a few others like this, but this is a tiny little thing. I'm just going to start this at $6. If there's any interest, we'll bring it up close. Get a look at it. I didn't even try to clean it up at all. There's a little bit of, as you can see, a little bit of staining on the gold tone there, but there's see there's the pin for the hinge right there. It goes in there, and I'll open it up again if I can. There, it's got a nice tight fit. I'll have to say that. If there's any interest, oops, let's get the screen there. You can see it better. Yeah, I want to get a camera that I have better control over. Things like zoom and that kind of stuff. I got a bit. This one I can't do that kind of thing. It's just a fixed lens. We'll get a little better camera. Excuse me, I'll grab a sip here. Oh, I forgot about this. Had a piece of jewelry sitting next to me here, and I didn't realize it was there. All right, and when it comes to some of the jewelry, if it's silver, I always do the very simple magnet test, and sometimes it'll be silver plated, not silver, and when they silver plate, it's usually over a non-ferrous, a non-magnetic material. So even the magnet test won't cause it to fail if it's silver plated. No, I don't. I think I do my test right. I had it here a second ago. But anyway, all right. Let me write this down. Okay. No. I was looking for my magnet, but I can't seem to figure out where I put it. I had it here just 20 minutes ago. All right. No interest in that. We will pass on that. And we will go to this. I think this pendant is pewter, not silver. It's got a cow going over the moon. Cute, huh? It wasn't magnetic. It's got a very interesting type of chain, kind of a squarish, blocky kind of looking chain with an extender and lobster claw type fastener. No markings on it whatsoever. So, it calls the cow or the moon necklace. Oops, it helps if I can spell the word moon. Or type it correctly, I should say. We'll start this at, I have no idea. I hadn't even tried to comp this one at all. It just came across it today, and I was like, well, we'll throw it out there and see if it's any interest. So let's say we'll start it at $6. For all I know, it could be more than just pewter, but I didn't have a way of testing it, and I can't find my little magnet. Get rid of that one. I had it. Oh, goodness. Goodness. I am not happy. I just had that in my hand. and while I'm looking for that, so I think some of you have been aware I have other hobbies besides doing this stuff. As I say, now fully retired, no longer part-time employed like I was until end of October. And I'm a metal detectorist, and I'm also been doing that for years. And I'm also, as of this past year, gold panning, which has been a lot of fun. And I haven't found a lot, but we've got a little. And the price of gold right now over 4,000 an ounce. It doesn't take much to you know, find something of significant worth. Now, are we going to find nuggets up here? No, not in Vermont, not in Maine either. That's where we go both to Vermont and Maine. I haven't got to try. I'm going to try New Hampshire next year, or this year, I mean. And we'll see how that goes. People have fun. Was that phone again? Hang on, I'm going to just mute so you don't have to listen to that. I meant to move that phone out of this room. I just apologize for that. But yeah, so we've been doing a little bit of gold painting and had some fun with that this past summer. And of course, we don't do it wintertime. Too dang cold. Rivers, waterways are, if they're not frozen, they're colder than I want to be standing in. So, but anyway, yeah. This is really bizarre. Okay, we're going to pass on this. I said I was going to get magnet out and show you if it was magnetic or not, but I can't find my stinking magnet. It's set aside somewhere. All right. That was a piece of jewelry. Let's see what we do next. Let's do another piece of jewelry. And this is on silver, 925 marked. And this is a stone that was came from a gem shop in Maine. Oops, let me get that off the screen. And so you can see they basically is very interesting little pattern in the stone. And the back side is just plain. They really just coated the front side. I don't know why they did that, but they did. But anyway, it came from a gem shop in Maine. And it is a 925 snake style necklace. So I'm going to call this the 925 necklace. Whoops. What did I do? Do it again. 925 necklace with I'm going to call it native stone of Maine, or native Maine stone. I don't think it's anything. I don't know if it's anything of particular note, but we'll start this at $8, mostly because of the silver necklace, not because of the stone. And while I'm thinking about that, put this away. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Maybe I might come across my magnet. I don't know what I did. Nope, I do have this though. I'm going to show this. I'll show this soon too. Oh, and I got to write down what I've been showing here. So. Okay, that last thing was the Maine stone. And okay, I'm making sure to get something here. I got it all. Okay. Let's see here. I had an interesting piece that I was trying to figure out what it is. And for those of you who use, AI type things to look up things, um, and image recognition tools and that kind of stuff, it kept telling me this is a piece of fossilized tree pieces, and it's not. It's just really well polished, and I'll show you that next. It's kind of an interesting piece. All right, no interest in this necklace. Let's pass on that. And we will. This is a really big piece. It's I think it's what they call burl wood. This thing is big, 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 and it looks like it was a book. This came from the estate that we went to in the summer, and you can see it is the wood. Then they cut it and polished it on three sides. And the reason I say this is wood, and where is it? There's a spot right here. What's that right there? I can move that. If that was fossilized, I would not be able to flex that. That's a piece of wood. But they did a nice job of cutting and polishing it. And so you could use it as a bookend in one spot, I suppose. But it's why it won't focus. Come on. There. So really, really interesting piece. Like I said, there's the outside. And a burl, for those that don't know, is like if you see this big knot on the side of a tree, you can look it up, but it's essentially what it is, and it's very highly prized by wood people who work with wood. They often make bowls out of it because it has a lot of layers in it. So it's very colorful. So I'm going to call this a cut and polished wooden bookend. And I have no idea. Let's spell the word polished. Hang on. Good thing for spell check. We'll start this at, I don't know, $10. It's kind of an interesting piece. Like I said, it's very big, by the way. Let's see. Let's give you some dimensions here. It looks like about 6.5 by 5 and 3, almost 6 there, and about 6 inches, a little less than 6 inches tall, 5.5 inches tall. So, give you an idea. Is any interest in something like that? Like I said, like I said at the beginning, some really eclectic stuff. When I first saw it, I did think it was a fossil, but when I took a closer look, I said, no. And plus, it's very light. If this was fossil, it would be so heavy. It would be really heavy. It was stone. I found out what it does is the material, the stone replaces it actually replaces some of the material in the original. Excuse me. Huh. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's see what else we have to talk about tonight. So yeah, like I said, like somebody was asking earlier, we're going to be doing. I'm going to try and get back to doing it on Sundays as well. Just this week it didn't work out, and I was going to do it Monday, then I was going to do it Tuesday. So well, let's just do it Wednesday. Go back to my old day of doing it on Wednesdays, and then we did. So, okay. All right. Okay, got another piece coming up that has some silver in it. Let me see if we can get the inventory tag off of this one. This came from the state. I'm having trouble with this tag again. Goodness gracious. I do this only because I'm trying to keep track of where these came from. Okay. There, we get that off of there. Maybe, maybe not. There it goes. Okay. Well, we'll pass on this. Okay. This is a nice piece of, it's green glass and silver. This thing's really long. To do my right here. So that moves on. This thing looks to be 24 to 26, maybe. I think I wrote that down. Did I write down what it is? Yeah, 26. All right, and I don't think it'll show on the black very well, so I think I'm just going to lay it out on the table and bring the camera down so you can see it better. Yeah. Okay, so it is marked 925 on the silver, and the color is a little paler than what you see on the screen, but not much. At least on my screen. I'm saying go by what I see on my screen here. So I'm going to call this the green glass and silver necklace. And I have got to start this one at, I think I'm going to start this one at 15. Oops, starting bit of 15. Okay. So there's the clasp right there. You can see it's an older style lobster claw, if it'll focus here. And even the lobster claw itself is marked 925 on the little claw. And you can see these little decorative silver pieces here and that go all throughout the necklace. This is a vintage, I think this is a vintage piece, to be honest with you, because of where the estate where it came from. What did I say? It was 26 inch. Oh goodness. 6. Well, if there's any interest in that. There is no extender on it, as you can see. The glass is really cut in such a way that it's almost crystal-like. Does reflect nicely. Okay, let's see what we gotta do next here. 9:30 already. Wow, you've been flying by here. I have probably more jewelry than I'll get to than I won't be able to get to tonight. We'll see here. I do have really not sure what. I do have a couple bracelets and pins. I'd like to make sure we get to those. And let's see here. Okay, just making sure you have a chance to get everything out here that I want to show you tonight. All right. We'll do another trinket box of sorts. After this, we'll pass on this one. No interest in the vintage necklace, silver and. I know last week somebody, last auction, I shouldn't say last week, last auction, somebody asked about I was going to be bringing more silver, and I did promise I would bring some, and I definitely brought some tonight. So, okay. How about this nice little hand? Let me get this off the screen. This little hand painted paper mache trip box. And it's made in India. And we'll start this at $6. And you can see it even has India on the bottom. There's the side. And then the inside looks like that. I've had some of these in the past. I can't recall if I still have them, but I sold any of them. But yeah, these are. This came from another estate sale I was at. There's items I had tonight from two different estate sales, and this came from a different one. The same one I showed you, the pink kangaroo earlier, and that came from that estate. So what came from the other estate is just the jewelry. What came from this estate was kind of the collectibles. And the bookend and the fossilized clamshells that came from that same estate as well. Apparently they were a collector. They traveled a lot, the person, and stuff from all over the world. I have some really interesting stuff that they collected. I also picked up a couple of decent vinyl albums from that estate as well. But I have a lot of vinyl albums. A lot. So, okay. No interest in this. We will pass. Excuse me, man. You wouldn't think it'd be stuff up this time of year, being away from the wheat and all the pollen and stuff, but it doesn't seem to matter. All right, what was I going to do? Jewelry. Let's do this Liz Claiborne pin. Oh, come on. Just trying to get out of the bag here. I may have shown this more recently. I can't recall. This is a Liz Claiborne pin that's gold tone there and silver tone there, or horses, of course. We'll start this at $8. Again, I have looked these up, and I'm giving you a good deal, I think. And there's the Liz Claiborne. It is signed. Right there, see the LC? I know, it sort of looks like a W. It's really an LC. And the pin. I found out today that men are now wearing brooches on their suit coats and things like that. It's like, that's pretty interesting. So, Did not know that. We for those of you who maybe anybody out there is a Stranger Things fans, but watching the interview with Caleb, and he had a really nice brooch on his jacket on one of his interviews. So he's a really good dresser. Well, anyway, so this is the Liz Claiborne pin. If there's any interest, we'll put that up for a second or two while I figure out what to do next. That one. Okay. Alrighty. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm just going to leave the tag on this one because it's. Okay, no interested in that. We'll pass on that. Pull that out of here. And how about a dichroic pendant on sterling? Chain. It's a really delicate chain. I'm just leaving the inventory tag and whatever on there. And I think it is marked. I think it's India on the chain as well as the 925. But there's the thing right there. Really quite. Almost lost it off the table here. Good thing it's not breakable. Now the bale itself that's holding it, I don't think is sterling, but the chain is. Okay, so let's get that up there. Dichroic pendant on 925 chain. And I think we'll start this at $10. And just to show you the chain, it's not the lobster claw style, it's the different style. And you can see there's the tags there for indicating the silver content and the Made in India tag. I think I want to say it's an 18-inch chain. Well, it's even signed, looks like, by the person who made it, Andrea. Oh, kind of a rainbowy color, the dichroic. Okay. What do we do next? Oh, I gotta write this down. Hang on. Almost forgot. Okay. What was the previous thing I showed? Oh yeah, the green glass. And I know I'm forgetting something. It's probably something I showed that I forgot to write down. Oh well, we'll get to it. And if there's something from last week, or last auction that if those who watched it, you saw something then that you're now interested in this week, a lot of that I have within reach still. So, okay, we'll pass on this. Dichroic. Let's bag that up. Okay, another collectible. This is an interesting one. I've done something similar before, um, and so I should say sold something similar before. A milk bottle. And this is an older style, and you say, "Wait a minute, what's that? Why is that such an odd shape?" That's where when the cream separates, it goes into this little right here. So, and what's really good about this? It still has the plug from the dairy in it. Fairfield, Maine. Now, you can't make out the writing because it's gotten pretty faded here. But what it says is sanitary store and sanitary dairy. The whole thing's kind of gotten really faded, but you can see when I put my hand behind it, you can sort of see it there. It's very clean, really good shape. No damage at all on this thing. But the fact that it has the old style plug in it from Fairfield, Maine. So, and I'm gonna start this at $10. Is any interest? And I know they can go for quite a bit. I think the cardboard thing, whatever that is, paper, add some value to it. But I misspelled Maine. Maine, not Maine. Maine is in the state, not Maine is in the main topic. There, we'll correct it in the chat. Okay. Again, there's another cool collectible. And that's up there. We'll see what we're going to show next for jewelry. I showed this last week, or last time. This is familiar. Oh, bracelet. That's right. It's a nice bracelet. Okay. For the folks that are out there, please like and subscribe. That really helps, by the way. I know I haven't been consistent about getting videos out there lately, but and getting auctions out there, but we will start getting more regular, and hopefully that will make it easier for you folks to know when I'm going to be doing something. I usually put out a preview, and I did put out a preview of yesterday. The preview just is your sample, of course, not the entire contents of the auction. That would take too long. I am toying with the idea that one of you suggested about putting out a video selling stuff in just a buy it now mode and say, here's a video, here's the item, email me if you want it, and I'll sell it to you for X amount plus shipping. So, or I can try to build a shipping value roughly into it, or depending on what it is. Something like this. Obviously, I'm going to have to pack this in a lot of bubble wrap. I usually fill the bottle with, peanuts in it or something like that to protect it. So, and the person I think I sent the last one to, it survived the trip. So, okay, no interest in the milk bottle, the antique milk bottle, so or vintage. Yep, pretty cool item though. I thought I've got a couple of others too, but. Oh, the Lisbon, sure. Let me write that down for you, Marlene. I will put it in the chat. What did they say on that? No, that's the one I didn't write down. I knew I missed one on my list. Let me go back in the chat and see what I was saying. me a second. Just had that. We might pass the line. Oh, $8. So you said $8 right in your thing. So thank you. Pay attention to people typing. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now let's go to another piece of jewelry. This one is a Coldwater Creek bracelet. I can bring the camera back up again here and down. And it's interesting because when I looked this one up, this is the Liz Claiborne tag right here, this little hang tag right here. When I looked this up, it said it was a silver-plated Brighton French bracelet. Now, Brighton is another jewelry maker, but I was told, oh, well, Liz Claiborne often gets resells jewelry from other manufacturers, other makers. So that's probably what this is. It is silver plated, and so the end piece looks like that. Then it says dream, believe, and wish. There we go. Okay. And it's got a toggle style clasp. As you can see, really hefty. Really hefty. And it does say Coldwater Creek, right? Oops, let me get the glare off of there. Up closer without the glare. There we go. Okay. So I will say Coldwater Creek bracelet. I'm going to start this at $15. It is silver plated. Oops, let me get that off the screen. There we go. Yeah, let me show it again. And I think I'm going to see the overall length looks like it's about 7. Let's double check that. 7.5. So, and I see there are 5 strands in between each of the things. It's got a little weight to it. I'm guessing that it's not magnetic. So I'm guessing it might be like silver over copper or something like that. Apologize. I'm trying to get the camera so it tilts, so it doesn't quite. It doesn't quite. There. See if that helps a little bit. Okay. And write this one down. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Like I said, I'm trying some ideas of doing videos. I'm trying to get more. I like to try and get more videos out there again. Of different things. I've got. I was in a band in my high school years, my college years, and later on in life, and a lot of stories to talk about that. We had some fun and some interesting experiences. I was pretty good at reading a crowd when it came to stuff like that, and so wasn't the guy I was the drummer. My best friend was the lead singer and guitarist, and when I was in high school and college, and later on I ended up playing with a country band as well as, and then later on after that it was a blues band. So I've done a little bit of variety of everything. It was always fun, and I don't know if I can do it anymore now with my arthritis. It's will be difficult, a challenge certainly. Okay, what am I forgetting here? Oh, a pen for more linear. I gotta set that aside. Okay, we'll pass on this. I thought there might be some interest in this one, but not tonight. Not with the crowd, not with whoever's watching, I guess. So that's okay. Just set a bag for that. Oh, what am I gonna do next here? How about a Chinese piece? This person. This is a larger ceramic box, and when I looked this up, get that off the screen. I looked this up because I didn't know what it was for sure, and let me get the information on it again because I thought it was really cool. What it is. Wait for my phone to respond here. This. I'm going to tell you right now. If you're looking to buy a new cell phone, I've had two different Motorola's and both of them are terrible. I am not. My daughter's convinced me I'm going to switch over to a Google Pixel next time around. She's had one. There's been no problems. This thing locks up. Battery life on it's fantastic, but it just continually locks up. And that's and I had it with both of them. I thought, the first time the Motorola, I thought, it was just older model, whatever kind of thing, just nope. And I get this, I get this thing where it comes up and says, "Oh, I have to wait." So this is called Chinese porcelain chinoiserie. I'm not gonna let's see if I can do this. I type this in here. CHINOISERIE. Trinket box. And it'll go for, they're not crazy money, but I'm going to start this one at $9. And so this one's, I actually have two of these. This is the, so this is what they look like. They are, I guess they're hand painted. And then there's the interior, just plain white, and a little bit of dust in there, dirt, whatever. Interesting that it's glazed it's glazed on the inside as well as the outside. So that's really interesting. And the top looks like that. Let me hold it better here so I don't break it. Drop it. There's the top. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to remember that name. I had to look it up. But the prices on these, when I looked them up, they're all over the place. But I'm perfectly happy with this as a price. So, maybe certain ones are more collectible than others. I don't know. I'm not this kind of area of the trinket boxes and that kind of stuff is not an area I've got a lot of trinket boxes, but I don't know much about them. I literally have, I think, 2 boxes of trinket boxes, 2 cardboard boxes of trinket boxes. So I will probably bring some of those back out at some point in the future and let them go for a song. Okay. Let's see what I want to do next for jewelry. Have we done earrings? No, we haven't done earrings for a while. Let's do some earrings. What do I want to do here? No, let me shoot. I dropped my earring display. Hang on, let me just reach and grab it. Okay, so I want to make sure I can display these earrings in a, because they're not on a card, they're just loose. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to show them anyway. I don't have the right, or do I? Do I have that here? Oh, I thought I had my earring, little earring tree thing here, but I don't see it. Shoot. I don't know if this will work. No, I just going to have to show them in my hand. Huh. All right, that's fine. All righty, we'll pass on this one. And now these, I'm going to show these earrings. I'm trying to lay them out here as best I can. They're a loop with let's bring this down. I think it's sodalite that's on these. Was it stones? Just the sodalite chips. And these did not react to the magnet. So it could be silver, but I'm not sure. It is not marked anywhere. And it has these really interesting. Let me see if I can get that to hang. So if it was wearing in your earring, if you were wearing an earring through your loop like that, that's what you'd see from the front. What you'd see from the side is that. You can see it's a little clasp right there. And that looks to me like sodalite. That's one stone I do recognize pretty easily. Don't know if those are stone in between or acrylic. That's one ear. There's the other. Same design. Of course, being chipped stones, they're not identical. So, I'm just going to say silver question mark earrings. And we will start these at $6. I just didn't have a chance to test them, but to me, there's a little bit of tarnish, but not bad. I think there's a small amount, but there they are. And of course, there's how it unhooks right here. Yeah, being a small silver wire, you're not going to get it marked anywhere. Okay. I should put a reference out there so you know the size of these. There's a penny. So you get an idea of the size of the loop. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Write this down so I can keep track of what I'm showing. Oh, what was the other thing I did? Trojan. China. Just keeping track of what I did here. Okay. Okay, what are we going to do next? Let's see here. 10 o'clock. Let's do the other fossil. Let's do the other fossil I have. There's no interest in the earrings. Don't pass on those. The bag goes up. I got, as you can see, a rather large piece of fossilized coral. I'm going to bring the camera up so you can see it better. It's about 6 inches in length, roughly. So it's a very large piece. I think that was, I said, 6 inch, roughly. Double check that. Actually, 7. At its length. I'm going to start. These go for all over the place. Again, it all depends on the item, I think, on what it is and the size. Large pieces of coral, I can't give. I mean, I say large, I mean like, you know, a couple feet long kind of thing. They go for some crazy prices. But this one I'm going to be, I think, pretty reasonable here. I'm going to say $20, and I think that's well within the range of what it's worth, or less. Actually, probably less. I'll show you the whole thing. I have not done anything to keep it clean or anything like that. It was probably sitting in a box for who knows how long. So I think that's why one side is this nice bright white color, and then the end is, you can see the coral in there really nicely there. I forget who it was that bought some of the fossil stuff in past auctions, but if you're out there, I got them. Okay, let me write this down so I show it. Probably the most expensive item I'm showing tonight. I think. What was I going to show next? Oh, goodness. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought it said. There it is. I'll take that back. Well, okay. No interested in that particular piece of fossil, so we will pass on that. And take that off screen. And here is the other nice item, and I think I may have shown this in the past. It's got it's just down so you can see it close here. So this chain is marked 1/20th 12K, but it's not gold tone. It's kind of a silver tone to it. So it's really interesting. So obviously it must be white gold. And this has a couple of, looks like stones in it. I can't make out what they are. It could be garnet. It doesn't seem the reddish. But what it looks like, it's a You look, see the back. It's something they coated. And I tried to figure out what it is. I should try again here. I'm going to put this down as a 1/20th 12K necklace and pendant. I'm going to start this at $18. And I'm going to do one real quick look up here. My phone will cooperate. So gold-plated sterling silver botanical necklace. That's what they call this. One thinks it is the one thing that thinks this is possibly a Flora Danica by Edgar Denmark. It definitely fits the pattern they have of their stuff. And I am asking probably about a third of its value. So at the starting bid. Is there any interest? Hey, Kelly. Is there any interest in that? And you see, it's got these little. I think that is stone, but I'm not sure. Just one little stone in there. It's kind of weird stuff. Like I said, it is marked here, but I don't know if it'll show on camera. It is written. It's very easy to read with a loop, but I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Let me see if I can get it to show it anything at all here. It is. See if it'll focus. No, that's not gonna show enough. It is marked on that tag. And I think this is a vintage piece as well. Really tiny little chain. As you can see, it's again, I put it against my hand here. You see the chain is quite delicate. No problem, Kelly. No problem. Glad you joined us. I know I should be starting later than I do because I know some of the folks on the West Coast. This is a better time for you, or out in the Midwest even. I try to go late enough to catch some of you. And again, I'm on Wednesdays. I was saying to earlier, I've been trying to do Sundays, and it's been, it's just me. That's not nothing to do with Sunday. It's just me and not being able to get my act together, and just too many things going on. So, but how interesting stuff. I don't know. Let me think. The coral is not as heavy as it looks. I'll give you a weight here. Hang on. My scale just happens to be right here. Turn it on and give you a weight. Because size-wise, it's not going to be a problem packaging. It's about 1 pound and 4 ounces. So not too bad. So 7 inches long, so I can fit it in a 8x6x4 box. So I think I remember you're out west. It's going to be less than $10 probably to ship it. I could look it up real quick, but give me a minute while I'm showing this. Yeah, I can give you a quick estimate here. Oh. Oops, that's the one I want to do. Hang on. Let me bring it up on my other screen. Anyway, so we get this. Okay. Let me write it down as sold. Sold to Kelly. What did I say? 20 on that? Yeah. Oops. Why did I not type it? Oh. Let me try it again. Yeah, just to put official in the chat. Okay, and let me write it down in my little chalkboard here. Okay. Let's see here, out of curiosity. I was curious to make sure I give you an idea what it's going to be. Yeah, go right ahead and go back, and I'll. Yeah, I was right. Just under $10, so not bad. Okay, so now we have this other piece up here. Oh, didn't I send you to Miss Beasley though? I thought I shipped that already. I will double check, but I thought I shipped you to Miss Beasley. The tin sign, I remember. I realized later on that I did not send it to you, but I don't think I billed you for it either. So I will check though. Never got her. Oh boy. Let me double check. I know we're. That's scary. Okay. Let me double check on that. All right. Let's get this other item sold here. Going once on the necklace here, and going twice. Last call. And sold for $18. Yeah, I know. I knew I didn't bill you for that because I think that you were interested in maybe some of the others I had. So, but anyway, thank you for the purchase of the necklace. The pen was getting away from me here. Can you write your name down here? Make sure I don't mess this up. And Nicole, I got that taken care of. Let me double check on something. Well, I'll check on it after we let's get something else up here to show folks. What am I doing next? Let's do this other little trinket box. I think this is also another piece from India. Let me get it down and up. There we go. Let's start this at $7. No, $6. And this was made in India as well. You can see what's left of the sticker on here, but little trinket box with the little holes in the ceramic. Get that up there, and I will. Yes, and I tried. I took pictures of all of those, and tried to send it to you, and it kept saying the file that was too big, and that's why I couldn't send it. And I couldn't. I tried to figure out if I could make the pictures take up less space, which means I have to lower the quality of the picture. And once I figure out how to do that, I can send them to you again. I actually have them sitting right next to me. So, just an odd reason. Um, so, if anybody's interested in repro signs. Boy, I must be getting tired. I could show some of those tonight too. Okay, so this is a trinket box. It is made in India, from at least the sticker, the piece of the sticker that's on there. I did not do anything to clean it up. You can see the little bottom is a little scuffed up on the bottom, but not too bad. And inside it's actually pretty clean and dirty as well. So it probably just a gentle wash. Toothbrush works really good at take an old toothbrush, really good at cleaning out the flowers and things like that. So if there's any interest in that, and while I'm get that up, I will see what else I can display for jewelry. Anybody that's a Libra out there? I have a Libra necklace. I can't remember if I showed this last time or not. I misplaced my list from the last auction, so I don't remember what I showed in the last auction. I thought I showed this already, but I wasn't sure. Okay. I did. Okay. A couple items here will show. Alrighty. So I'm definitely going to follow up with this on you, Kelly. I could have sworn I sent that. I better double check on that. Let's see, because I shipped a couple things one thing back in December, another one back in October. Gee, let me double check on that. Right here. I can double check this while I got you on here. We'll just go make sure and follow up on that. Kelly. Yeah, I know. I'm just bothers me when something like that happens. So I've had issues lately with getting things done. Okay, so there's one from there. Okay, that looks good. Huh. Yeah, I know. It's been crazy. I'm not. It's yeah. That would have been quite a while back. All right, we'll find it. We'll find it. We'll get it taken care of. All right. Well, there's nobody interested in the trinket box. Meanwhile, so we'll pass on this and like that. And let's see, what was I doing for jewelry? Oh yeah, I have. It looks like a dyed agate. I think that's what this basically is. On a silver chain. Now the bale itself that the agate is mounted with is not. This part's not silver, but the agate is what they call dyed agate. It is a silver chain. They call a snake style chain. That's an 18-inch chain. So And we'll start this at $9. Interesting that. So I don't know how they get it to look that color, but it's pretty interesting. And at the back of it, you can see cut and polished. I see Kelly at 9. Let me write this down here. Sorry, dag it. And we'll say going once. Going twice. Last call. And sold to Kelly for $9. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Put that bag and mark it. Okay. Do I have any other non-jewelry items? Oh, I had this one last little thing left. This came from the estate. It's just a cute little figurine of a pelican, I'm assuming, or flamingo. I'm not sure which it is. To be honest with you, let me see what Google thinks it is. It thinks it is a blue heron. Okay. Or stork, or crane. It doesn't know for sure either. That's funny. But somebody else calls it a crane, so we'll go with that. So we'll call this a blue crane figure. And we'll start this at $6. Just any interest. This came from an estate sale. And again, you see some of these must, I gotta assume, this is a company called Metlox, Matlox, that apparently makes some of these figurines. And their stuff goes for some, people are asking some pretty pricey things for some of those, but I don't know if this is that. There's no signature on this at all. No markings. And it's in great shape. I mean, it's just what it is. Yeah. So yeah, because it was this Metlox or whatever. Apparently they're collectible. It's like the McCoy pottery. I have a ton of McCoy pottery. Anybody's interested in stuff like that. But this is no markings on it I could find anywhere. I looked on the top, I looked on the bottom, and you see anything? I don't, right? So he said there's just nothing. That's why I'm just saying $6. No idea. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's in great shape. Yes, right. Just, I mean, it's smooth. I don't feel any spots where it's chipped or anything like that. It's just a mold. I would guess it's from a mold, but I don't know. You write that down. I'm showing that. Yeah, apparently there are some of these things that are, let's say, like the McCoy stuff I know. Goes for a nice piece. All right, we'll pass on that. How about another dichroic? I showed a dichroic earlier. This is a different one on a gold tone chain. Oh, we'll start this at $8. And to give you a better idea what it looks like, here it is. It's a fairly clear glass, which is not typical of the dichroics I've got. I've received from other people, from this person, I should say. As some of you may or may not know, I met the person that made these, and she was moving to South Carolina, and bought her out. We bought a lot of her stuff. She was just looking to get it out of her house so she can move. It's an 18-inch chain it's on. So, and I went with the gold because it's a gold bail on there. Gold tone, I should say. Oh, look at this. I forgot about this. Now, do I have any other items? I have several items sitting here next to me that I'm about to put on. Oh, no, I do have one more item. I was about to put on eBay. So I'm not going to do that. I want to grab one of those because I don't know what, I haven't had a chance to get an idea of what they're worth yet, but I know they're worth something. So, okay, nobody interested in the dichroic. I'm going to pass on that. I have this interesting little, I think the box is made out of cedar. A little trinket box, we want to call it that, or whatever. And it's got a story on the top, the legend of the dogwood. And I don't know anything about it. I did check this, I did kind of look it up out of curiosity. And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it has to do with the crucifixion, and it's a story there. So this is like an applique on top of this nice little cedar box, which has seen some rough use, but could be touched up nicely, I think. There's the bottom. It's a little rough, but it's still in good shape. I left a piece. They put a piece of red felt in there. It doesn't. It's not glued in or anything like that. It's just. But you can see it's cedar. It was well made. It just looks like it was tossed around a bit. And it had something written on it in the front. Looks like it said something New York. Can't make it out. I don't think you can make it out on camera either very well. But so obviously it was a souvenir. Oops, let me get the dichroic thing. Obviously it was some kind of souvenir thing at some point from someplace I'm guessing New York. We're not that far from New York, so just across the lake. But okay, so cedar box. I'm going to start this at, I don't know, $7. Anybody interested? You could repurpose it if you wanted. However you want to do it. Again, this came from that estate right here, local here. The daughters were selling off the estate from their parents' stuff. I see Kelly at 7. Write down this. And okay. And we're going to say going once. Going twice. Last call. And sold to Kelly for $7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll put your stuff inside. Yeah. Okay. Let me write that down. Yours. Okay. I've got this brooch that's marked JJ, which I've heard of before. That's a brand name. And I have no idea what to ask for this. Let me see here. Get some rough idea. Well, okay. I guess we'll start this at $7. How's that? Okay, I'll show you the marking on the back. There it is, right there, next to my finger here. That's marked JJ. Oh, it's upside down, but you see it. And it's a gold tone. Finish. Focus, there we go. So that's about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches across. Let me write that down. Shut it. Okay, and we'll probably do 1 or 2 more items here for the night. I think I'm done with non-jewelry stuff. I'm looking around to make sure I didn't miss something, but did come across a really, really fascinating piece. What did I do with it? Just to give you an idea of some of the things I put out on eBay. I've got an eclectic mix of stuff out there now, but I'm going to be putting a bunch of new stuff out there in this coming week. So, okay, we're going to pass on this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but just so you have an idea, some of the really interesting stuff I found recently is this Christmas hand piece, made in Russia. Still has a sticker on it. Glass. This is what they call Fabergé style, I guess. But it's a really cool piece. That's going to be, you'll see that on my eBay or Etsy account soon. Okay. This is, I think, what did she call this? I had a name for it now. Aurora Borealis, I think, glass. And it's a very short, very, very short necklace. It does have an extender on it, and it's the old style hook on it like that, and it just hooks around this is essentially the extension of it. So I will give you a length of this first before I give you a price. Looks like it's about, without the extension, looks like it's about 12, and then you can add another 2 inches, 2.5 2.25 inches with the extension. So it's essentially a choker, I would say. Um, and I don't remember what my wife said she wanted this. I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one, I guess. Um, I think they call it Aurora Borealis necklace. I'm probably spelling that wrong. Yeah. We'll start this at $10, I guess. Again, like I said, it's hook and eye, so you can see the beads. They really do have, depending on how they hit, the light hits them, really can be pretty interesting. But it's a very whatever they mounted on, it's a kind of a, it's a wire in the core, so not a, so it's a little stiff. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get it to position. But with the extension here, you can make it 14-inch. So get on there. Yeah. So okay. I'm gonna say going once. Going twice. Whoop. Last call. You know, when I put it up to my skin, they're very cold. So I would say likely glass, yes. I think so. It really cold. So not stone cold, but cold, definitely. And we'll say sold to Kelly for $10. Thank you, Kelly. Write that down. Okay. Put that in your box of stuff. Okay. Okay. Do I have anything else I want to show tonight? I do have some more jewelry sitting here. Just some I consider interesting earrings. Not that much for earrings. So here's a pair of earrings that are a shepherd's hook style. They get the little keeper on the back there, and they got some kind of simulated looking, kind of like a stone. If it'll focus, well, there we go. Let's see here. I'm just going to call these rectangle earrings. I don't know what else to call them. And we'll start these at $5. Sorry, I had to pen them out. $5 for these little earrings. If there's any interest, and then I'll probably do one more item here. Save something next week, next time. I'm getting sore sitting here for some reason. I don't know why. I just be able to sit at my computer for hours, and I tell you, it's getting more difficult as you get older. Okay. Oh my goodness. Piece of string I gotta cut off. Yeah. A rather unusual piece I'm going to show next, and then that'll be the last of it, I think, for tonight anyway. Just had to take the inventory tag off because it was a hassle in the way. Okay. All right. No interest in the earrings. Oh no, I'm just I gotta figure out why because something's changed. I haven't quite figured out. Well, I must have redone my. I usually am pretty fussy about how my chair is set up. So here's a little simple necklace. On a, that might be. This chain is not marked, but I believe when I checked it with the magnet, it did react. So if it's silver, it's only silver plate, but I don't think it's even that necessarily. A very interesting pendant here with a. I don't know if that's even a stone. I don't think that's even a stone. I think that's just a piece of acrylic. But I thought I'd give it a shot at. Let's say $5 for that one. I'm going to call this black and silver tone necklace. We're starting at $5. Is that interest? I think it's like about an 18-inch chain. The chain itself is actually quite nice, I think. I mean, even if it's not silver, it's very, very sparkly chain. And then what I'll do, I think, if there's no interest in this, oops, I keep bringing it off camera here. We'll hide that and we'll pass on this. And I'm going to switch cameras so I can show you some of the signs I have. Camera. I'll switch to my other camera. This camera I'm switching to is supposedly not as good as the one I'm using for the table, but I don't know. All right, so I'm grabbing them here. They're all next to me. You know, I've got simple signs like this one that just says cabin. Now, they're all metal. This came from a shop that used to be in the area that's gone under. And let me set these aside where they won't fall on me. Then there's this one here. Laundry care tip. And these are all repros. They're not original by any means. And then I have, I think some of these are the ones I showed a while back. PT Jones baby powder for one's the little angels. You can get an idea of the size here. And again, these are not, I don't believe that any of these are original. They made to look old, but they're not original. And what's the other one here I got? No, these are, no, olive varietal, Dr. Fowler's extracted wild strawberry. No. And if you want to know price on them, I would say like $8, probably something like that. Well, this except for this one. This one we go for a little more. Coca-Cola stuff is always popular, so I would say $10 for something like that. You know, for Coca-Cola. I mean, that's a good deal actually. Coca-Cola stuff is always hot. And then I think I have another similar one to that wild strawberry one. This one is Homer's ginger root compound. Oh, the baby powder one and the one, the Dr. Fowler's. Okay, I'll make a note of that. Hang on, let me write it down. As soon as I find, here's my card. Okay, noted. Where's that left off? Okay, Homer's ginger root. Yeah, you want Homer's too. Okay. I had to look up. Let me write it down. Let's see what's this left. This one is a bakery one. What does that say? SP Shank Company Bakery. That's pretty much it. I do have holes right up in the top and the corners in some of these all ready for mounting, so makes it easy. And cherry phosphate, 15 cents. And where am I here? Oh yeah, this one. Dutch hand soap. And Uncle John's sassafras brain tonic. Dutch 2. Dutch 2. Dutch 2. Oh, Dutch hand soap. Okay. Write that down. So that was Uncle John's. Okay. And I think I got one more maybe? Yeah, no, that's not it. I think this is the one you originally wanted, but I'm not sure. Wasn't this the one you originally wanted? Was the pure and simple butter? I can't recall. I have to go back and look at my notes. It's been a while. I think that was the one you originally wanted. I gotta wait. I know there's a delay in the video and everything in the chat. So I have one other that I can't reach. That's about it. So that was your original the butter one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Well, that's all. That's the bulk of them. So I'll try to give you the best description I can in the invoice, so you know which ones you're getting. Make sure I got the right ones. But that's going to be it for tonight. So I'm glad you showed up, Kelly. I really appreciate that, and I'll get that straightened out, and I will go find. I'll follow up on the other item. Get that. Make sure that's all squared away. Fun stuff. Alrighty. Well, that's each is what they are, Kelly. So we're good. And the only one that was $10 was the Coca-Cola one. So, I can put it in the chat. So I should put that in. Sold to Kelly. Various signs for 8 each, just to make it official. There. That should help. I hope. Okay. Oh, that's okay. No, that's all right. I'm glad you confirmed it, and I have no problem with that. So, yep, we're good. We're very good. Appreciate it, and I think that's it for tonight. I guess I do have a little bit more jewelry, but I'm getting a little achy, and I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong with my chair. I think it's what it is. Oh, you want the cherry phosphate too? Yep, gotcha. All right, let me write that down. I'll forget. Okay. Done. Okay. They're not too. I say individually, they're not too heavy, but it's the length that's going to be the issue. I think the longest one is like 15 or 16 inch, and when you get above a certain length in shipping, for at least with the post office, they start charging extra. So it ended up being UPS. UPS has been a better deal lately on almost everything, and it's not much further for me to go. So, because I'm in that area often. So, but anyway, everybody have a great night. For those that are left out here in the chat, and we'll see you maybe Sunday. Definitely another auction will come up next week, either Sunday or Wednesday. But I'm going to try to shoot for Sunday and see what we can come up with for you folks. And maybe I'll bring in some of the things I don't normally sell in the auction. Somebody was excited about toys, so maybe I'll try and bring some toys in next time. I get a lot of them. So, but thank you. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I'll tell her that. Appreciate it. I'm sure she does too. One of these days, I'll get her convinced to at least join in the chat somehow. So, okay. Everybody have a great night. See if I can find my end button. Here we go. And we'll see you again soon.